I believe that Turbo could hypothetically grow some more. And now, how much more? I do believe that 50 cents is going to be my price target during this bull run, even though that's not financial advice nor a guarantee, because I do think that it's very special. Here's the thing, right? If you take a look at it, Turbo virtually has no competitors, in my opinion, for what it is. Now, you may be thinking, okay, there's a bunch of other meme coins out there. What do you mean by that? But if you take a look at it, this one fits a very unique category in a sense that it's a meme coin created by AI, but then also at the same time, you take a look at the size of Turbo, right? It's a very massive meme coin, relatively speaking, but it's not a dinosaur, right? It's not a Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, but it's big to the point that it doesn't feel too extremely risky, but then at the same time, it's not too massive in a sense like it's not a dinosaur. And I really like that. There are many meme coins as of right now that are starting to pop up, and they have the AI aspect, right? But in my opinion, this one kind of feels like the true OG. You know what I mean? This one just kind of feels like the original one. You know what I mean? The way I take a look at it is that it's pretty much when you take a look at, okay, what is a meme coin created by AI? People oftentimes think about Turbo. It's kind of like Kleenex, right? When you take a look at a tissue, sometimes you're like, hey, can I have that Kleenex? It's kind of like that. I think Turbo has that status, which is why I think it virtually has no competitors. Now, if you take a look at the grand scheme of things, just as a meme coin purely, of course, it does have a lot of competitors, but for what it is in the space that it's in, so to speak, I think it pretty much doesn't. So I really like that. Not to mention, when you take a look at Turbo, the exposure, some people think is very bad because a lot of other meme coins out there, they like to partner with celebrities and athletes. But when it comes to Turbo, I get it. It's not that flashy, right? It doesn't seem that interesting when compared to other meme coins who update like every single day. But I don't mind because if you take a look at it, they do their advertising in a sense in a different way. You take a look at how they're listed on Binance and KuCoin. Massive exchanges. Turbo has over 200 million users. KuCoin, man, it's also pretty much one of the biggest exchanges out there. And I think if anything, that's much better than partnering up with a celebrity or an athlete because you take a look at how people who are using exchanges anyways, they're more inclined to believe in projects because, again, they already believe in the space to begin with. So, of course, Turbo being listed on that's great exposure right there. That's very crucial because people can take a look at that, study it, and understand what it's all about. And I do believe that Turbo really does tick all the boxes when it comes to a meme coin. A meme coin is supposed to be exciting. Turbo is exactly that. It's supposed to be enticing. Turbo is also enticing, right? It's also, something that has a very strong community, which, again, a meme coin needs to have that because naturally a meme coin doesn't have a good use case. So, of course, a way to supplement that is by having those aspects, and I really love that when it comes to Turbo. Now, some people may argue that, okay, Turbo, it's not unique enough, but I disagree because even though there are many frog-themed meme coins out there, again, I think people oftentimes ignore the AI aspect of it, and still, people may think, okay, that's not enough, but again, when you consider its size, its community, I think that it's very unique, actually. And not to mention, right, Turbo at the price of 50 cents isn't that crazy. Considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $33 billion, which is, very crazy, by the way, because you take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin over doubled this, by the way. It reached over $80 billion in market cap back in 2021. So this isn't too much to ask for. And even still, despite that, again, that's considering current circulating supply. But besides that, again, that is around a 54x from here. I mean, can you just imagine that? That's insane to think about right there. Now, are there going to be many microcaps out there that are going to outgrow Turbo from this point on? I think so, because there might be like a random meme coin with like a $50,000 market cap. I don't know what the name could be. Let's say it's like Bratwurst Extender Inu or something. I'm just making it up. I don't know. But maybe let's say it has like a $5,000 market cap or something crazy like that, and then it's going to reach like hundreds of millions or like $1 billion market cap. We just don't know, right? But I'm not willing to risk it on that because the way I take a look at it is that the risk is too high. But then on the flip side, I don't want to go all in on a dinosaur like a Shiba, or Dogecoin. So what can I choose instead? Something that's a medium in between. It's like, for instance, something like Turbo. It's a perfect balance. It's not too big, but then it's not too small either. Not to mention, if I take a look at it, right, Turbo, again, doing over a 50x doesn't seem that crazy. Hypothetically, if I were to put $1,000 into Turbo, and let's say it were to go, again, to the price of 50 cents, that $1,000 would hypothetically become around 54 grand, which is crazy to think about. Now, that's not financial advice again. That's just a make-believe scenario, but still, it doesn't seem that bad at the end of the day, in my opinion. Anything over a 10x for me seems like a big bonus. So if something can, let's say, do over a 50x hypothetically, I like that. And for the people out there that say that, Turbo has reached its peak, it's never gonna, go to the billions upon billions of market cap. But I disagree, because you take a look at Bitcoin, all signs are indicating that it could very well exceed far beyond $150,000, given the current trajectory. Not to mention, you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. I think this bull run could be so special, but it's just a waiting game. Around 6 months to a year from right now, I think things could be very different. We haven't seen, that break-off moment yet, right? We haven't really seen that in fifth gear, in my opinion. Why is that? It's because back in 2021, when the bull run was in full effect, even Kaka projects were pumping. Like, even projects we don't even really know, we're like, whoa, that pumped? It's like, what is going on? But when it comes to as of right now, we haven't seen that yet. So I think there's still a ways to go. Even historically speaking, altcoins, they peak as a worst case, again, around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. That would actually mean around October of next year, because the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April. So there's still some time there. So when people like to say, oh yeah, it's bad, all this type of stuff, well, maybe it's a little bit boring waiting, but I think if anything, it's actually good news nonetheless that there's still ways to go, because I think it showcases how Turbo, the room for growth, is still there. Not to mention, Turbo has tokenomics that are not overly confusing. We see many meme coins out there. The tokenomics, man, it's too insane. Like, it's crazy. Like, they can't even go to the price of one set in many cases, right? But when it comes to Turbo, because the supply is relatively low, in a sense, when compared to a lot of other meme coins out there, reaching the price of 50 cents isn't that crazy. I think that having this concept of a meme coin needing to have a crazy supply, I think that's just a little bit out of whack in my opinion, because I think they looked at something like Shiba Inu and they're like, oh yeah, let's copy this. But I don't think that's a genius thing to do, because when you take a look at it, Shiba Inu, that's like back then. Back then it was acceptable. As of right now, I think people don't like to be confused for no reason. So when it comes to Turbo, I think that right there is a great touch that they have. Doesn't overly confuse people. And I like the concept. Again, the tokenomics are not confusing for no reason. So when I take all of those factors into consideration, what am I going to continue to do? I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into Turbo. Anytime I acquire income, I'm going to be acquiring Turbo, holding and just waiting, because I think that the journey is far from over. I'm staying patient and I'm not giving up. A lot of people back then, when Turbo had that dump, they were telling me, oh yeah, it's Kaka. You said that Turbo was going to do this, do that, hypothetically. And then I was like, oh man, I'm not going to believe these people, because the way I viewed it is that, things are going to pump again. If something like Luna Classic can pump, by the way, people like to say that Luna Classic is like a meme coin. I disagree. I think it's a lot worse than a meme coin, because the history is complete Kaka and we don't even know what is the future of it, right? At least for a meme coin, we somewhat know where it could be. Let's say, okay, it has potential to be listed in this exchange, this one. When it comes to Luna Classic, what is the future? You know what I mean? It's just complete caca at this point. So when it comes to Turbo, again, the way I take a look at it is that if something like Luna Classic can pump, if something like KlimaDAO can find a bottom, even if something like Litecoin, and by the way, I get it, Litecoin isn't a meme coin, but still in 2021, that pumped like crazy. Why can't Turbo at least go to the price of 50 cents during this bull run? You know what I mean? It's kind of like this. If John Cena can learn Mandarin, why can't Turbo go to the price of 50 cents? It's kind of like that. I'm not saying that's a fair analogy to use, but it's just kind of like, if Luna Classic can pump KlimaDAO, something like Litecoin, why can't, Turbo during a fully fledged bull run reach the price of 50 cents? I don't see why not. And that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.